Miss Mocha Mommy, you're very close to my heart. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this pink and purple eyeshadow look. I don't know what I'm going to call this yet, but you'll see in the title what I call this look. I really like how it turned out. This look was inspired by Danny_make on Instagram. So if you want to see how I got this look, please keep on watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video from me. Please make sure to also give this video a like and leave a comment down below on your thoughts. So let's get started. So I've already done one eye off camera, and I think for my more creative looks I'm gonna start doing this because it kind of lets me know what I'm doing beforehand. So I am just going to be doing the other eye now. I didn't do much to my eyebrows, I just put gel in them so that they stay up. I didn't even put a pencil through it or anything, but yeah, let's begin. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Beautiful Bronze, and I'm just going to conceal underneath my eyebrow and also around my eye so that it blends in with the base a little bit easier. Now for my base, this is not really a base. I'm just going to be using the Juvia's Place Eye Magic Concealer in the shade 22, and I'm going to use this because it's white so that the colors will pop more, basically. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of this. I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place The Berries palette. This is what it looks like, really gorgeous pink toned palette, and the first shade I'm going to use is this plummy color down here, and I'm just going to pack it onto the outer part of my eye using this Shop Miss A E132 brush. It's just a really dense rounded brush. Next, I'm just going to take this NYX HD finishing powder, this little mini one, and I'm just going to set the outside of my eye where I placed that color so that the transition color blends really smoothly. And then going back into that same palette, I'm going to be using the lighter plum shade up here, and I'm going to be using a Morphe M562 brush. It's just like a tapered blending brush, and just going to blend the edges of this first color. I'm just going to go back using that brush that I used to place the first color and just blend the two together. Now I'm just going to take the lightest pink shade in the palette in the middle of the top row, and I'm just going to place that on the inner part of my eye. I'm using this eyeshadow brush that I got from CVS. It doesn't have a name on it, it just says Beauty 360 on it, which is the CVS brand, but this is what the brush looks like. So I'm just going to take that color and I'm going to place it on the inside. And I'm not going to bring it all the way into the middle. I'm just going to leave a little bit of space. You'll see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to go into a different palette. This is the Juvia's Place The Deuce palette. And I'm just going to take that pastel baby pink color and I'm going to use it to blend out the edges of the first pink that we used. I'm just going to use this really big e.l.f. blending brush. This is the Fluffy Eye Blender brush. It's a pretty big just blender brush. I'm going to go into that shade and just blend out that pink color. You don't have to be too neat about this. Just make sure that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to take my NYX glitter glue. I'm going to put a little bit onto the back of my hand, just a tiny bit, and I'm going to use my finger to press it in between those two colors. I don't want the glitter to be too opaque, So I'm just tapping it in with my finger. For the glitter, I'm going into the Morphe 24A Artist Pass eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go into the shade Private Oasis right here. It looks pretty much like a white shimmer, but it has like almost like a blue duochrome kind of moment. I don't know if it's gonna come off on camera, but that's what it looks like in real life. And I'm just gonna use my finger as well and just tap it where we placed the glitter primer. And then I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brushes that I used for the base shades on the lid, the plum and the pink, and I'm just gonna use it to blend out the edges really well. Now this step is extra, but I think it adds a little bit more dimension and brightness to the eye. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. loose glitter right here, and this is in the shade Milky Way. It's just like a white glitter. I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but I don't want to spill it. I want to show it to you, but I really don't want to spill it. So I'm just gonna take my finger into the cap. I can show you what's in the cap actually. It's just this white silver glitter, and I'm just gonna take my finger and place that right in the middle of the glitter. Now I'm just gonna take my House Labs liquid eyeliner in the shade Punk, and I'm just going to align my lash line and I'm gonna make a thick line. As you can see, I'm not gonna wing it out though. Okay, so I'm not the best at liner, so I went off camera and kind of tried to fix it. It looks a little better now. I think when my whole face and like lashes are on and everything is complete, I'll like it a little bit more, but here the eyes are done for now. We're gonna add lashes and stuff later. Now we're going to move on to the face. The first thing I'm gonna use is the OPV Beauty Rose Gold Oil Nourishing Face Oil. I don't think I've ever used this on my channel before, but it's really, really nice. It smells really good too. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of that onto my face. I'm just gonna blend that out using the Morphe M406 brush. This is just a little stippling brush. I'm gonna use that to rub it in. I'm gonna be using two primers today. I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer as well as the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer. Now I am going to be doing the underpainting method today, so I'm just going to show you everything for my concealers that I'm going to be using. Today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Olive. I'm also going to be using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealers in the shades 22 and 2. This foundation looks, I'm sorry, not foundation. This concealer looks a little bit orangey, but it blends out really, really nicely. So please trust the process. Do not be afraid of how this is looking right now. It'll turn out really good by the time we blend everything out. So I hope everyone has been doing well. I am starting school very soon. I'm filming this actually the weekend before my second semester of school starts, so that should be interesting. I hope everybody in school has a really, really good semester. Wishing 4.0s, A's, and amazing grades on all of us. I just cannot believe that I'm in school. I don't know, it's just kind of weird to think about being in school during a whole pandemic and just going on as if everything's normal when it's really not. But you know, I guess I'm kind of getting used to it now since, you know, last semester we were also online. But being in college during a pandemic is not easy. It's not easy. But you know, we're getting through it. We're doing what we have to do. For my foundation today, I'm using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation, and I am in the shade Tanzania. I really want like a really full coverage look today. I think with these eyes, I'm feeling something really full coverage, and this foundation I think is the most full coverage one that I have. So whenever I'm going for that kind of look, I always reach towards this foundation. I don't know why. I think honestly, it's just the concealer shade that I'm using today. We're looking a little extra crazy, but I'm sure if you watched my other videos where I use this method, I'm sure you trust me by now. It's gonna look amazing and great and fantastic at the end. So I'm sure I said this before, but trust the process, girl. It's gonna turn out great. And also try this if you haven't before. It's always fun to try out new foundation techniques, so give it a try. It's really all about blending. As most things in makeup are, it's really about the blending. For my foundation brush, I'm using the Juvia's Place foundation brush, and I'm just gonna blend everything in. And now this is the part where we alternate our brushes. I'm going to take the brush I used for my concealer and blend the edges out. And then this is the point at which we take the foundation and lightly blend over the concealer. For my pressed powder, I'm going to use that same NYX finishing powder to set underneath my eyes first, and I'm using the Juvia's Place tapered blending brush. And usually y'all know I love my Charlotte Tilbury powder, but I am trying to use cheaper options because that powder is so expensive and I'm already starting to run out because I love it so much. So we can't always be using that powder. I like how this NYX one is looking though. For my loose powder, I'm using the OPV Beauty loose setting powder in the shade medium. And this is a pretty yellow setting powder. And I'm just gonna use my brush, the same brush that I used before, to set under my eyes. Now using my MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in the shade NW43. I'm not sure where Miss NW45 is, but this one also works. I'm gonna take this really big powder brush from Juvia's Place, and I'm just gonna really lightly set the outside of my face. Also, this OPV Beauty powder has more pigment than I'm actually used to. I've only used this powder once, and honestly I like it, but I think it looks a little bit powdery, but I think by the time we set our face, it's going to blend in a little bit better. So yeah, this is actually as pressed in as I could make it. I think I'm gonna set before I put on my bronzer and stuff, just so that the setting powder can blend into the face a little bit more. I'm just going to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and just spray my face a little bit, focusing on like the under eyes and above the lip where I put the loose setting powder. For my bronzer today, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Mocha Mommy. Miss Mocha Mommy's exhausted. She's tired, but I'm going to still use her. We have gone past hitting pan. She's very well loved. This was the first bronzer that I ever got because it was the first bronzer that I could find for my skin tone. So Miss Mocha Mommy, you're very close to my heart. But yeah, we're just going to use this to bronze up the face and also to contour the nose. For my blush today, I'm actually going to be using two products. I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek, and this is in the shade Quickie. I think this shade goes really nicely with the eyes, so I'm just going to use my blush brush. This one is also from CVS, it doesn't have a name on it, and I'm just going to kind of brush it on the top of it like this. and just apply that. I actually really like that color. It's not as deep as I thought that it was going to be, but it's really pretty. Now I'm just gonna go into the Juvia's. She's filthy, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go into the Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 1 palette, and I'm gonna take this really dark shade down here called Abby, and I'm just gonna use a little bit, just a tiny bit of this blush, just to bam, because these blushes are really pigmented, so I'm just gonna tap that over the lip and cheek. Yeah, that's the color that I'm going for. Ooh, I love that. That is the color that I'm going for. I really like blush, so I tend to go in a little bit heavier, and blush is the first thing to fade on your face, so it's okay if you go in a little bit heavy, girl. Like, it does not matter your skin color. Any of us can wear blush and wear as much as you like, because blush fades on your face really easily. But that's why I like to use the lip and cheek as well as the powdered blush, so that we get as much pigmentation and longevity as possible. I'm gonna go in with the brush that I use for my translucent powder, and I'm just gonna tap around the edges so that it's a little bit more blended in. I'm not gonna put any powder on it, but just to blend it into the face a little bit more. To highlight, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb in the shade How Many Carats. I'm also going to use this little Milani Stellar Lights highlighter palette, and I'm going to use the silver shade down here. I'm a little bit scared of that silver shade. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of makeup on my fingernail, but I'm kind of scared of that little silver shade because I don't want it to be white. So I'm going to go in with How Many Carats first, and I'm just going to use that color to give it some more, to make it pop more. Because the diamond bombs are not meant to be super pigmented, they're just meant to give you like this little glow. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna skip the Milani highlighter because I'm liking how this looks. I think I don't want as intense of a highlight today. I like how this is showing up. Okay, battery is dying, so we need to speed this up. For my lashes, I'm using the Black Label lashes in the style Flirt. They're really fluffy and doll-like and look like this. These are some of my favorite lashes. I love Black Label lashes, so I'm just gonna put these on and then come back. While I was gone, I put on my lashes and mascara, and I also, in my waterline, I used the Haus Labs Identify Gel Eyeliner in the shade Open Wide. It's just this kind of like pinky nude shade. That's the color on the end. And then I also smoked out my lower lash line using the Juvia's Place Berries palette, and I used the dark plum shade down here and then the lighter plum shade up here. I'm sorry I did that without y'all, but yeah, my battery was dying. I just wanted to charge it a little bit. But now we can move on to the lips. To line my lips, I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place lip liner in the shade Cola and the Haus Labs lip liner in the shade Neat. For my lipstick, I'm going to be using the OPV Matte Lip in the shade Clueless. It's just a really nice pinky nude shade, and I'm just going to apply this to the center of my lips. This shade of pink is really pretty. Or this nude shade is really pretty. I don't know why I don't use it more often. For my gloss, I'm going to be using the Haus Labs Low Riot Lip Gloss in the shade Entranced. It just looks like this. Ooh, that is gorgeous. That is so pretty. I've never used this shade before. I've had it for a while. They sent this gloss to me a while ago, but I haven't used it. It's so pretty. So that is it for today's look, you guys. I hope you guys like this look. I really like how this came out. Please make sure to give this video a like and leave a comment down below on your thoughts. Make sure you also subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video from me. and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.